It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back. We have another video suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community, so shout out to SpyUA for suggesting this. And this one's on the DB forums, titled "Apparently Pallet Saves Randomly Just Don't Work." So I thought this was an interesting title because apparently now they're crashing out about pallet saves from the survivor side. It seems like we can literally create a full playlist documenting forums complaining about literally every single thing about this game. We might be on the way to do it. It feels like Thanos collecting the Infinity Stones. We're like, just each and every little thing we're able to just like make a video about it. And specifically, I'm looking forward to having the collection of every killer being complained about at least once. If it's possible, somehow we might be able to do it. I mean, the DVD community is the king of bitching, so chances are we're probably going to be able to actually be able to put it together. But regardless, so let's see. So they say, just found out in a match that you can just swing as a killer to avoid a pallet stun entirely. Wow. Right off the bat, what does that tell you? These people do not know what the hell they're talking about, bro. So, in other words, Survivor Main discovers that killers can counter one of their uncounterable bullshit of things. Okay. Now, what they're probably referring to is when you pick up a survivor and you're at least close enough to the edge of the pallet, because if you're in the center, you might not be able to make it out. But at least if you're closer to one of the other side of the edges of the pallet, if you melee, you'll be able to swing just out of range so that they can't stun you and you can walk away. Now, of course, with the entitled survivor community, they can't allow you to do that. So knowing behavior, they'll increase the size of the pallet's hitboxes to be gigantic. So no matter where you are, you'll be stunned across the universe and never be able to get a single kill again. However, let's go ahead and continue. They say, even if the sound plays is well-timed, which means that it's not well-timed, as long as you swing at the right time, like it's like it never happened, and now, oops, not only does the killer still have the survivor, but you might be injured from the swing, and you wasted a potentially important pallet. So this translates to, I have a skill issue, so I'm gonna complain on the DVD forums so that my other fart huffing survivor mains will also continue to basically reinforce my bias. That's essentially what it's saying. And because of that, as a killer player, I've done this before. I've seen other killer players do this before, quiet kills especially, because it's called countering a bad play, right? And the fact of the matter is, a lot of the time, that's why you'll see survivors try to position themselves in the very center of the pallet, so that's not possible. But if they decide not to do that, you might be able to get out of the way. Now, one character that I know that can actually counter this bullshit specifically is the pig, because you can use your head trap to essentially reposition the survivors closer to the edge of the pallet. So you basically can put the head trap on, it'll pull the survivor back to the direction that you're putting it on, and then you can then pick up again. Obviously, you know, well, I guess you're not really picking up again, but you're picking up, obviously, which then moves them even further away from the pallet. So let's go ahead and continue and read the entitlement of the survivor main. So it says, I don't remember this ever being in the game before I stopped playing like a year ago, so I'm assuming it's some sort of bug, but that's actually so stupid. To give players a mechanic and just say, it doesn't work sometimes, too bad, it's insane. There might be a bunch of other issues that need to be fixed, but it's also dumb, it needs to be fixed. Like, so in other words, you're crying because, oh, you couldn't get your fucking pallet save for your TikTok compilation. Like, get fucking real, dude. Like, come on, man. And the thing is that, you know what I find extremely ironic is that playing killer is the definition of it just doesn't work sometimes, too bad. Like quite literally. The amount of times that I've even gone for, say, a lunge or abused my power in a certain way, like 10 times in a row. The 11th time at random, it'll say, no, that doesn't connect. Like that happens. That happens. There are times where perks are supposed to activate a certain way, but it just won't because of some unknown circumstance that allows that to just remove that entirely. That it just happens. I mean, just me mentioning this, probably it comes to mind for you as a killer player. If you are subjecting yourself to a humiliation ritual by playing killer every single day, you probably can know exactly what I'm talking about. And when I have played killer, this has been my problem with playing killer, is that it just doesn't work sometimes. Too bad. Oh well. Like, even though you could do something the same way 10, 20, 30 times in a row for over 100, 200, 300, 1,000 hours, at random, the game will just say that that doesn't work anymore. For whatever reason, it'll be some perk, some map, some collision, some this, some that. It will just randomly say, as a killer, nah, that doesn't work. It does that. It just does. And I don't know why. Now, with what they're crying about, come on now. Like, this has been in the game for I don't know how long, but it's a thing because it's called lunging out of the way so they don't get punished for trying to do their fucking job. And that's how it is. That's what works. But to complain, and it's just the definition of the DVD community, because it's like they bitch about things that are in the game that are directly countering their stupidity. I've also had people like run up, as I've done this before as well. I think even recently, I think it was on Ormond, where they got down under the pallet thinking that was gonna work. And the thing is, I'll just pick up in their face, right? Because I've like, the thing is that the reason that a lot of people get pallet stunned is because they're fucking scared. Stop being scared. I pick up, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like pick up in their, like when they're like 2 inches away from the pallet, but I'm saying like if they're running away and the survivor's under the pallet and it's just that one guy, I'll just pick up in their face. I'm like, hey, you could watch me pick up right here. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna do it. And it works because they don't expect me to just pick up right in front of them fearlessly. And sometimes people do try to stand in front of me and I'll swing right into them. Like, chances are I'll fly right past them while hitting them and they'll still stand there like a dumbass slamming down the pallet and it's not even touching me. So I'll get a pallet, a pickup, and 2 injuries for the price of free. And it's because of their bad positioning. It's called countering a mistake. That's how video games work. You counter things. Like, it just works that way. So then he says here, you can just do a quick Google search. It tells you the same thing. There are a few Reddit posts. I think there are a couple, which we might have to look at these out of curiosity to see what they're actually referring to. So the first clip in question here has to do, which I don't really care if I'm blocking it or not. I'm just gonna show it to you anyway. And here's the clip. Oh my God, the play button doesn't work. Okay, there we go. So as you can see there, which I mean, you know, as well as you can see it, pretty obvious though. I mean, you can just see it. It's pretty easy to see. They decide, as you can see, Springtrap is swinging out of the range of it. It's called, you know, using your noggin, because he's just far enough. As you can see, he's just far enough to where, oh, you know what else it is too? I think she mistimed it on top of that, but that's besides the point. But look, no. He's out of range, because look, he's right here. He swung. He already swung by the time, I think. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I'm looking at it again. Instant replay. Yeah, no, she just mistimed it. She mistimed it. Yeah, so it seems like, once again, Survivor May doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're trying to use this as a source, and then when you actually analyze the clip, they mistimed it. I mean, you can, like, the link is in the forum post itself if you really are curious to, like, stare at it, but yeah, they mistimed it, you know. So this one I'm going to show you guys directly, because this is once again Survivor mains being Survivor mains with no IQ apparently, because we're going to see again. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Right here, check it out. He picks up, he's already done with the animation, and she mistimes it like a dumbass. These people are very low IQ, dog. You mistimed it. You just mistimed it. Like, that's just not how it works. You don't just randomly spam it. Because by the time he's here, like, he's already, like, you don't get that, bro. You mistimed it. Yeah, no, they mistimed it. That makes no sense. You mistimed it, big dog. Like, As you can see, like, it just basically is just full on entitlement, crying, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? You either mistime it or you fuck up. I mean, that's just as simple as that. Now, are there situations where like lag may come into play? Yeah, of course. Like the servers ain't perfect. Like you're gonna lag at some point. But keeping in mind, like you just suck at the game, dog. Like it's not that hard to understand that. It's not the game's fault that you're ass. It's not the game's fault that you don't know how to time things correctly. Stop trying to go for a fucking like save and go help you. Go finish a gen, big dog. Like, what are you doing? Ridiculous. So anyway, it sounds like me more like this happened. He went to try to stun the killer from the side of the killer was blocking with his hitbox. The killer heard him coming and was ready to swing to get out of the pallet to the same side. Killer has the survivor getting injured. Killer moves away from the pallet with the swing as the survivor now getting injured can run through the killer. Hits the pallet down after the killer was not anymore on it. Him saying he heard the sound could be him just thinking he did, or maybe he played it on his end on server killer was on the pallet stun area anymore. They say some people still has not got that. You should try not to drop the pallet from the side the killer's on anymore. Had they fixed the clipping into the killer's hitbox that survivors could do for a long time. Got normalized because it was so long bugged. I can still see people trying it and just running into the killer's hitbox. That is actually very true. That is very true. A lot of survivor players are very used to abusing and breaking the game in a lot of ways, and they think that they're entitled to continue to break those things, to continue to abuse those things that need to be fixed. And when those things do get fixed, they throw tantrums because, oh, this broken thing I kept abusing that should have been in the game is now changed. I don't get my free wins anymore. Like, yeah. Come on. Like, open your eyes, buddy. It's finally some equality. Like, if you're gonna keep fucking removing everything off of killer that actually has skill expression, then hey, then you should be able to remove the broken, unexpressive, non-skill based bugs that allow you to get free W's. Like, that should just be a part of the thing. I think that's equality, in my opinion. I'm being slightly sarcastic, but you get the point. They say your entire message is basically he's hallucinating. This entirely different thing was actually what happened without actually having been there or seen anything not helpful. I mean, so once again, they're just crying. Okay, that has nothing to do with anything. Bro gave you an explanation. And then he says, like, you can claim what you want. I gave an estimate of what happened. Like, yeah, like you explained it. He gives his estimation, and you're mad that he doesn't agree with your fart huffing ways. Like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, come on now, bro. So I'm like, it's just a bunch of crying. It's basically what it is. This person says, without seeing both POVs, it's hard to tell, but I would actually assume that she's badly synchronized. The killer POV is usually the one the game accepts as the truth. Which I kind of disagree, because sometimes you'll get stunned from across the universe as a killer. Like, I've had so many times where, like, I've been stunned from far back, and I'm like, I'm not even near the pallet. I'm just going, like, you get hit by it. You're like, what the hell is this? But anyway, so this says, my assumption is that the killer swung out and was already out of range on his screen. The game likes to take the killer's POV, so he wasn't in range for the game. The survivor POV in this case was that he's still in range and played the sound and then rolled back because the game said nope, wasn't in range, which just does make sense. There's also been situations where the server lags and I have gotten hits. I've heard the scream, the blood going off, and it just doesn't count as an M1. They were fully healthy running away, but I saw blood on my screen. I heard the scream. He's wiping his weapon, but the blood is like and everything else, but bro is walking away healthy. I'm like, so I've seen that happen too. So regardless, it does happen. So they say, because they're saying like that you can't lunge while carrying, but which is true. You're not really lunging, you're just swinging, but the swing gives you a bit of distance. So yeah, the logical reason to do is try to hit the person pallet saving. So no, this person doesn't entirely understand what they're talking about here, because people will swing because it gives you extra, it makes you move forward. Like, that's why people, it just goes to show, like, people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, that's why when people have used Mad Grit, which if you guys have seen Mad Grit, like, you can swing while carrying somebody and it won't be a hit cooldown. Is it a hit cooldown? No. It's not, you can keep swinging, but it doesn't have like a whiff cooldown. Like, you can just keep swinging really fast with Mad Grit, and people have used that to give them distance. So that's what people are doing. They're using that distance to move forward, so they're out of the range. very obvious, but for some reason they don't know that because they don't play any fucking killer. Slight chance that they hit the tick perfect swing to cancel the Pallet. It's not a perfect swing, it's just getting out of the way. They said this is a bug that's been in the game for a very long time where you can cancel the Pallet stun if you started action the same tick you would have been stunned. It's not consistent enough to do it every time. I wouldn't. I think it's just more like if they're trying to claim like it's a bug. I think it's more of just server delay. It's just kind of server delay. So they're saying that they're not talking about lunging. Just press M1. They do not stay still when you hold forward and do M1 while carrying a survivor. They will move forward. It is the main reasons why killers pick M1 after they pick up survivors from pallets to avoid the pallet stun, as the M1 will give them faster movement speed temporarily than normal carrying speed. Killer's normal carrying speed is 3.68 meters per second, so 90% of normal movement speed, and when the M1s, when carry, that speed becomes 5.52 meters per second for 0.3 seconds. They move about a meter when they swing out the other way of the pallet. They will suffer the hit cooldown if they were hit on a survivor or miss hit cooldown, but they're not anymore under the pallet or stunned or dodged it. Pretty much it's a perfect explanation. But you know, people will sit there and just go, it didn't stun, and I'm like, yeah, but if you just look at the clip, they mistimed it anyway. So regardless, you're still not getting your damn save. Learn how to play the goddamn game, bud. Like, they already dumbed down everything on Survivor at this point. Like, the flashlight saves are easier. Come on, the unhooks are easier because you have more time to do it. You have endurances off of hooks that were 15%. They're probably like 15%. I think 15 seconds of endurance. They're reducing it to 10. Thankfully, hopefully, at some point in the future. Like, you have a lot of these things that made it easier to do these things. Why are like? To cry about pallet saves is insane. It's absolutely diabolical, but I expect nothing less from the DBD community. Like, it's the DBD community. Like, they know nothing but to bitch and complain about every single thing in the game. I'm not surprised. But anyway, I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section. I'm also gonna go ahead and recommend that you guys go ahead and subscribe to the Marvel Rivals channel, the v.h.s.x channel, because then you guys can actually witness some, you know, passionate quality content that actually isn't about DBD garbage and slop. And if you want to support me directly, you can be a member on this channel. You can join the Patreon. You can even sub on Twitch. Like, if you really want to support me directly to help fuel these channels, man. Now, we'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know your thoughts on the topic at hand. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Cargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.